In 2010, Cindy Drennan and Illuminart were invited to create a new projection artwork for the Junction 2010 artistic program. Although Launceston has some of Australia's finest examples of colonial architecture, Cindy Drennan selected the modernist Henty House as the site for the projection. Henty House is a utilitarian concrete high-rise, sometimes described as Launceston's ugliest building, and many people asked why Cindy selected that particular building as the site.
I was drawn to the building's position in the civic square of the city, its monolithic sculptural quality, and its unappreciated youthfulness. The building has been constructed using concrete formwork embossed with a deep wood grain texture, and I imagined a new myth for the building, that it had been constructed of planks hewn from an enormous tree.
The Tasmanian tiger, or thylacine, is incorporated into the projection. This mysterious creature is presumed extinct, but there were regular sightings in remote parts of Tasmania. The thylacine was feared and hunted relentlessly during the early days of the settlement in Tasmania, but today is a symbol of the uniqueness of Tasmania that appears on logos and signage around the state.
It was as though the thylacine haunted Tasmania through its image appearing everywhere. I presented the animated thylacine in the projection as a message of hope that perhaps somewhere the thylacine survives today.
In researching the site, it was found that the Henty family, who had sailed from Scotland to Australia in the 1800s, settled in Launceston and later founded Portland in Victoria. This heritage is depicted by sailing ships with trees for masts, representing the way that early settlers transplanted themselves in new lands. Tasmania is synonymous with trees and wilderness, and the industry they support, and this became the topic of exploration in the site-specific projection developed for Landed. Other themes represented in the projection are the events of 1983, when the building was opened, from the floating of the Australian dollar through to the Franklin Dam protests in Tasmania.
There's a great deal of debate within the Tasmanian community and businesses about the logging and natural resources industries. I collected views expressed by people of Launceston and around the world, and these were included in ticker animations on the building facade, reminiscent of stock exchange feeds.
Landed was a site-specific projection mapped to the angles and planes of the Henty House building, presenting imagery inspired by the site itself. The content of the work was deliberately provocative.
I wanted this to be a talking point to stimulate conversation and perspectives shared between Launceston community and conference visitors from around Australia. This creation was intended to show both beauty and brains, to provide a connection to historical events through visual symbols, and to hint at the diverse opinions about natural heritage from locals and from people around the world.